This is Programming with Python Part 3. In our earlier parts, we have played around with numbers, strings, input, raw input, arithmetic operators, and blah blah blah. But this time, in this part, we'll start with adding a little bit larger to our code, adding a little bit of branching, and that we start off by utilizing if statements. Let us look at the contents. So these are topics covered in this part, but mainly we'll focus on making decisions with code. Relational operators and logical operators will help us to understand decision making better. But before entering into making decision part or if else part, let us have a look on the solution of challenge 2. This was challenge 2. Write a program to calculate and display simple interest by getting the value of principal time period and rate of interest from the user. This is the code. Solution of challenge 2, we have taken principal, time and rate from the user using input because we want them as a kind of number, and simple interest, we have calculated simple interest with the formula principal into rate into time by 100, and simply we have printed it. Let's try to run it. Suppose 1000, 9.5 years, maybe 12.5. So hence the result. So what we learn is when we start doing problem solving with code, I think what we end up doing is helping our code make decisions, figure out when to do what. Otherwise, we are going to be very limited with the types of problems that we solve. You know, every day in a normal life, we face making decisions. So every day we are faced with decisions. Like we have to decide in the morning whether we are going to attend the class or not, whether we are going to work or not, am I going to drive or am I going to take a bus, and a lot of decisions. Should I cook at home or go out for dinner? Which laptop should I buy? Also, the choices that we make depends again on different conditions. Should I drive or take the bus? Again depends on am I late or what's the price of gas. Should I cook at home or dinner? Again depends on do I have any food at home or do I have enough money to go out. Similarly, the amount of RAM or the money do I have again suggests which laptop should I buy. So if your code is going to solve problems, it has to make decisions as well. So let's see. So if the user maintained a bank account balance over $1,000, waive the transaction fee. If a user cancels the appointment less than 24 hours before the appointment time, charge a cancellation fee. If the hockey player gets the puck in the net, add 1 to the score. So this type of situations force you to add decision making to your code, and none other than if else statements will help us to make decisions with our code. But if statements and relational operators both go hand in hand. Also the logical operators plays an important role. We'll learn about both of them. But before that, let us see a simple syntax of if statement. On the screen you can see we are taking an input to the variable answer. We are asking the user, would you like to express shipping? Simply as we say. And if the user enters yes, now again using if statement we are comparing the situation. Answer double is equal to yes. Here double is equal to implies the comparison. We'll learn about it, and this is where relational operators come into play. So if the user enters yes, then the system will print that will be an extra rupees 50. I think now we should learn about relational operators. So as we see, first one double is equal to compares whether the left hand side is equal to right hand side. Similarly, the second one is the opposite of it, like it compares whether they both are not equal. Similarly, if less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, these are different relational operators. The one thing you need to remember is these all relational operators return a true or a false value. In Python, true and false are called Boolean values. Not in Python, I think everywhere. So if statements work on the conditions only if the condition is true, then the if statement will work. So like you can see in one of the examples, I'm taking the last one is greater than or equal to. If total is greater than or equal to 100. So if the user enters the value of total as 101, then the condition here is true because total is greater than 100. 101 is greater than 100. The condition is true. So when the condition will be true, the statements under if statement will be executed. Suppose I take the value of A as 10, take the value of B as 50. Now when I compare B greater than A, I get true. So why did I get true? Because I've used relational operator, and relational operator always returns a boolean value. It may be true or false. If I write b less than a, it will return false. In Python, except 0 and none, except these two values, every value is considered true. You can also check by using function bool. You can type it returns true. Why does it return true? Because b contains an integer value that is 50. So except 0 and none, everything is true. As I said, everything is true. Therefore, it returns true. If I write bool a, again it will return true because again a contains an integer value which is not 0. Like if I give c as 0 and if I ask whether C is true or false, it will return false because C contains 0 and 0 is considered as a false value. So false contains 0 value. Also none. None contains false value. Except these two, every value is true. You can write any kind of string. It is also true. Everything is true. So let us go back. So these relational operators will make our work better. Now let us see logical operators. There are three: not, and or. Let us have a look on them. If I write not true, it returns false. So you can understand. So you can understand the basic function of not is to reverse the value. Like if it returns true, it will make it false. If it returns false, it will make it true. The role of and or is very important. So we learn about the functions of and or while using if statements. While executing if statements, I'll tell you about the function of or and. Let us now understand the working of if statements with strings. And to understand it better, let us write some piece of code. Let us take a simple situation where where we will ask the user whether he wants to buy a product or not. So let us take a variable answer which is equal to, as we want the answer of the user as yes or no, which is again a string type. So we'll use the function draw input. Do you want to for better answer you can also write yes or no. According to the response of the user, yes or no will print other statements like the price of the product, or if the user doesn't want to buy the product, then we'll print some other statements. So here we use if statement. If the name of the variable, that is answer, is equal to, we use double is equal to compare, is equal to yes, then colon. You can see on the screen the line is automatically indented. So if answer is equal to yes, then print price of the product is rupees 50. Now again you can see the pointer is in the next line with indentation. So we need to remove that indentation and go back and again write the other statement which is outside the if statement. Like print have a nice day. So basically what we have done is we have taken a variable answer which contains the response of the user, whatever the user writes yes or no or whatever. Then again using if statement we are checking if the value of answer is equal to yes, and only when this condition becomes true, then only this print statement is going to be executed. If the user enters anything other than yes, then this statement will not be executed as this condition is going to be false. Now, after execution of this statement, this print statement have a nice day is going to be executed. This print statement is not going to be affected by the condition of by this condition. Only the statements that are going to be affected by this condition are the statements defined under if statement. Let us try running it. Let me save it. Oops, where is my price? Okay, I know what wrong happened. What it was, look, what I entered was YES where Y is small, whereas in our code the Y which we have entered is in capital letter, and as these two strings are not equal to each other, therefore this condition becomes false, and hence this print statement is not executed. And as I told, the outer print statement is not going to be affected by this condition. Hence, the outer print statement is executed, whereas the inner print statement is not executed. Now again, if I run the program and I type yes, now you can see the price of product is rupees 50 and have a nice day. Both print statements are executed. Since this condition becomes true, hence the statement inside the if statement is executed. But you know what? To get rid of this kind of problems, Python provides us some of the built-in string functions which help us to overcome this kind of problems. Let us learn about those functions. Like if I assign a variable s is equal to hello, and if I want to capitalize all the letters of this string, then I can use a built-in function where whose syntax is the name of variable dot upper brackets. So as you can see, each letter of the string is capitalized. Similarly, if I want to decapitalize or keep them in lowercase, then I can use the function the name of the variable dot lower. You can see the each letter of the string has become in lowercase. These two functions are very helpful in some of the situations where we want to get rid of whether if user enters capital letter or small letter or such kind of situations. So not only variable, you can also type the whole string like dot. If I want to capitalize, so I will use upper. They are capitalized. Again, suppose a piece of string, whatever. If I want them in lowercase, I can apply this lower function and they all are in lowercase. So this is how these two functions work. Now let us use these functions in our program. So if I capitalize the response of the user by using the function upper, so the name of the variable dot function name brackets. So whatever the user will input, it will automatically become capitalized, and hence we need to change. Yes, now I think our problem is solved. Let's save it and run it. Look, our problem is solved. It is working because the response of the user, that is yes, is capitalized, and hence after capitalizing it is checking with this yes, and the condition becomes true, and hence the body of if statement is executed. Now let us add a little bit more to our code. Now we know if the condition is true, then the if body is executed. Now what if the condition becomes false? Don't we have anything to execute only when the condition is false? Yes, we do have. We can make use of else statements. Its syntax is very simple. Else colon. Now you can write the statements which need to be in the inside the body of else. Try some other product. Now this statement is going to be executed if and only if the condition of if statement is false. You may be thinking what will happen to the outer print statement, this print statement. It will be executed whether the condition is true or false. What actually we have added to our code is when this condition becomes false, earlier only this print statement was executed. Now when this condition becomes false, the body of else is going to be executed with the outer statements. Let us try running it. No. Look, the print statement inside else is executed, and also the outer print statement. Now I hope you know the basic syntax of if and else statements and you can make use of them. So I think now we have worked enough with strings. Let us now try working with numbers. Let us take a simple situation where we ask the user to enter a number to check its divisibility by 5. So to perform this activity, we can simply use if statements like if n mod 5 is equal to 0, then print yes it is divisible by 5, else print not divisible by 5. So this is it. If we want to check whether it is divisible by 5, we are taking mod because mod gives the remainder. So if it is divisible by 5, the remainder will be 0 and hence the condition will become true and this statement will be printed. Or else if the condition becomes false, the body of else statement is going to be executed. Let us save and run it. If I write 95, it shows yes it is divisible by 5. So our program is working. So this was it in this part. We'll come up with advanced if else elif and challenge 3 of course in the next part, and also we'll see nested if else elif with the use of logical operators as well in the next part. Till then, goodbye.